Anthony Albanese has been caught in yet another lie. It seems like this guy just lies for a living and he seems to get away with it. And, well, I think even he has realized that after yesterday, the mainstream media caught him out in a lie, saying that Lauren Tomasi was wearing a helmet and a vest. She was clearly identified as a news journalist. A little bit of context for you all. So our news reporter, 9 News here in Australia, the correspondent Lauren Tomasi was shot with a rubber bullet by the LAPD police officer. The video went viral and there was selective outrage because I don't know if you guys remember, but we had COVID lockdowns in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, believe it or not. They were utterly insane, especially down in Melbourne. Journalists were being tackled to the ground. They were also being shot by police officers with rubber bullets, tear gas, you name it. So I think the mainstream media has forgotten all about that, and there's selective outrage towards, say, Lauren Tomasi getting shot, and now the Prime Minister has had to say something about it, albeit he's lied about the whole situation. But that's beside the point, ladies and gentlemen, because Anthony Albanese, because he loves to lie so much, guess what? He's decided to give himself a pay rise. Yes, while every other Australian is struggling, our Prime Minister, our sleazy Prime Minister, thinks he's doing such a great job that he deserves a pay rise. So instead of going from $600,000 a year or $605,000 a year, however much he's on, he decided to give himself a $15,000 per year pay rise, taking it up to $620,000 at yours and I's expense, mind you. So it's no wonder that my tax bill was quite a lot this time around, considering that I earned a decent amount of money because I worked bloody hard for it. But now the government's going, guess what, Jay? Screw you for earning a lot of money. I'm going to take the vast majority of it. And guess what? Lo and behold, I was speaking to my accountant about this, and it is so true. They take all your money, or a vast majority of it, and they waste it on useless things. Case and point. Anthony Albanese being one of them. And it's not just him that is getting a pay increase, ladies and gentlemen. It is also some of his cabinet ministers, keeping in mind that he's got 50 of them. Most of them are women. What are their job descriptions? You may be wondering. I don't even know. Some of them have got job descriptions that I don't even think they know what they're doing. But, ladies and gentlemen, because when you lie and you're corrupt and all these things, you get a massive pay increase. Seems like the more corrupt you are in politics nowadays, the more benefits that you get. And it's all, ladies and gentlemen, at our expense. And we get given a small amount. They get given a huge amount. He gave us like $5 pay increase. He gives himself a $15,000 pay increase. Let that sink in. Oh, but Jay, he's the Prime Minister. He's leading the country. What? In a ever-increasing black hole? Like inflation, yes, they're saying that it's like normalizing, but that normalizing is still a lot of money that we've got to fork out. We've somehow got to find it. I am speaking to people on a regular basis here in Australia that are doing it tough, that are still trying to find it. Like they're still trying to find money where there's no money. It's like they're having to take out money, or they're having to dig into their savings, what little savings they've got, just to survive. And here we have Albanese thinking he's doing a fantastic bloody job. $605,000 a year he was on. And now he's on $620,000 a year, keeping in mind that some of his other cabinet leaders are also getting like over $200,000, sometimes $300,000. Is it any wonder that Albanese and his cronies, I guess you could call them, are walking high in getting houses? Penny Wong just recently bought her third house. That should tell you everything you need to know. By the way, that house was $3.2 million. I saw someone over on Instagram explaining how a tradie, an electrician, doing very, very well, has been working his absolute backside off, has saved quite a bit of money, went to the bank. The bank approved him for a loan of, he could only borrow up to, or he's able to buy a house up to $400,000. This is a guy that we need in society, worked his backside off, is actually quite wealthy compared to a regular Australian, and is only able to afford a $450,000 house, which doesn't get you much, if anything at all, especially if you're in Sydney or Melbourne. Good grief. If you're in Sydney, you got no hope. You literally have to go into an enormous amount of debt. I hate to imagine what the mortgage would be. The repayments would be, the stress alone, far out. That's not the point of this video, by the way. The point of this video was to prove that Anthony Albanese was caught in a lie. And that lie came with this Lauren Tomasi getting shot by LAPD. So Anthony Albanese says this. Have a watch.
But that footage was horrific. That was the footage of an Australian journalist doing what journalists do at their very best.
You said targeted. Was that how it was raised by the Australian government, that she was seemingly targeted by police?
Well, she was clearly identified. There was no ambiguity. She wasn't, wearing a trackie. She was wearing a helmet, and something identified her as media. And, it is not acceptable that a journalist, I say this here at the National Press Club, from time to time, I will have disagreements with journalists. That won't shock you. Sometimes even with Sky journalists. But, I respect the role that the media play, and people should respect the role that the media play in our modern society.
I can't believe that this is the guy that decided to give himself a pay increase of $15,000. All he had to do was say it was disgusting behavior that the LAPD officer did by shooting Lauren Tomasi. She shouldn't have been shot in the first place, but she wasn't clearly identified. She didn't have a vest on. She didn't have a helmet on. The LAPD officer, no idea why he shot at Lauren Tomasi, but this is the same Lauren Tomasi that was also laughing at actual journalists during the COVID lockdowns getting shot at, like Avi Yemeni, for example. There is selective outrage going on, and it's no wonder that so many people in Australia have got no sympathy for Lauren Tomasi at the moment, which I think it's like, I'm looking at this going, yeah, she was shot with a rubber bullet. It's horrible what actually happened. But doesn't the Bible say you reap what you sow? Kind of interesting. Or the law of karma. They speak about that quite a lot, which is basically you reap what you sow in the Bible. Other people would believe in karma. I believe in you reap what you sow. So she was actually mocking and laughing people that were shot by police because they weren't masking or they weren't following instructions. Karl Stefanovic and even Anthony Albanese, so many others are on the selective bandwagon of saying this is horrible, and Trump's administration needs to do something about this. They need to launch an investigation. And apparently they have launched an investigation into that police officer because, well, the Australian government got involved, didn't they? Now, if you're a journalist and you don't look like, she even had a mask on as well at one point. I think in this photo from Ben Fordham Live, it shows that she's got like a mask hanging around her neck. It seems quite interesting. Like, why wouldn't you wear a press vest or a helmet, especially when you got riots going on, to signify that you're actually a journalist? I don't think the LAPD officer knew what the 9 mic, and he was a decent space away. So I don't know. No idea why he shot at her, but I think it's just like a little bit of karma coming or reaping what she sowed coming back into it. But the other point that I want to make in closing is Anthony Albanese lied. He didn't correct himself. He lied. That should tell you everything you need to know about the person that's running this country. He lied to all of Australia. about something as simple as this. What else is he lying about? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder indeed. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.